Hello, everyone. Just one day before Portland's mayor was set to introduce a new ordinance to crack down on drug use in public, he suddenly scrapped the plan, calling it no longer necessary. Thank you for joining us here at 5. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. Mayor Ted Wheeler announced that 180 this afternoon. Let's get right to Kyle Eboshi. Kyle, why did the mayor reverse course?
Yeah, Mayor Wheeler's proposal was scheduled to go before City Council on Wednesday, but he dumped the idea after the state legislature passed House Bill 2645. In many ways, that state law accomplishes the same thing, the mayor explained in a statement. Quote, "We believe that HB 2645 addresses our primary concerns about the public health crisis unfolding on our streets, and it restores necessary law enforcement tools that were envisioned in my own ordinance." The mayor had planned to ban the use of drugs such as fentanyl, heroin, and meth in public spaces throughout the city. The proposal came amid growing frustration by residents and businesses over rampant drug use, particularly in downtown Portland. And there's been a surge in fentanyl overdose deaths statewide. Wheeler saw the city's proposal as a way to close a loophole in Measure 110, which decriminalized possession of small amounts of hard drugs. Currently, Oregon does not charge for misdemeanor fentanyl possession, but HB 2645 will change that, according to legislators. It makes possession of certain amounts of fentanyl a misdemeanor crime. In a statement, Mayor Wheeler admitted his proposal likely would have been challenged in court because state law limits the authority of local governments to create laws around public drug use. The new state law, HB 2645, now heads to the governor's desk for approval.
And we'll see if it makes a difference if it is approved. Thank you, Kyle. 3 teenagers are facing some serious charges after deputies say they stood on a railroad bridge and hurled large rocks at passing cars.
Pretty terrifying there. Let's bring in Mike Benner. Mike, one of those suspects appeared in court a short time ago. It sounds like the judge had some pretty strong words here. What did he say?
Yeah, David, the judge told the 19-year-old that he has seen cases like this where people actually died, and the teen should be lucky that did not happen here. He went on to encourage the teen, identified as Philip Andrushin, to shape up or else he'll find himself on the wrong side of the law yet again. Andrushin appeared to understand the severity of what was going on during the brief hearing where he pleaded not guilty this afternoon. Andrushin and 2 other teens, both under 18 years of age, are accused of throwing baseball to softball-sized rocks and cinder blocks at vehicles early yesterday morning. This happened along Northeast Fairview Avenue and I-84 in East Multnomah County. Authorities are aware of at least 8 victims. We spoke to 2 of those victims who had their windshields damaged. Listen.
The damage to the window was the first hit, but I counted last night. There's dents on the roof of the vehicle. I have 11 impacts total, so I got hit with 11 different rocks.
Having a work ethic, it really did irritate me that someone could be so careless and unconsiderate about others.
Yeah, it really is hard to believe. In the meantime, detectives fear there could be more victims beyond the 8 that they know of right now. So if you are one of those people, you're urged to pick up the phone and call the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. Let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Mike. This evening, the Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission is recalling several batches of marijuana that tested positive for mold and heavy metals.
About 75 retailers sold the batches of flower and pre-rolls between January and last week. They are produced by Greenworks Farms, Rebel Spirit, and Nectar Markets, LLC. Officials say if you bought any of the recalled products, you should destroy them immediately. Now, keep in mind, regulators say they have not received any health-related complaints yet, but head to oregon.gov/OLCC for details.
A woman in Southeast Portland has been trying to sell her home, but says she can't because of a homeless camp that's taken over her neighborhood.
Now, it's another strand of the story, the impact of solutions that we are committed to covering here at KGW. Blair Best takes us to meet one homeowner who says right now she's struggling.
There's more behind this sign than one might think. It's another side effect of Portland's drug and homeless crisis, draining residential neighborhoods like this one off Southeast 76th and Foster.
There's camps on every corner, and things have just gotten out of hand since COVID.
Susie, like many other Portlanders, want out. She's been trying to sell her home for months.
Well, since June 1st, there's been a camp on my corner, so the showings have been canceled. Some don't want to get out of their car, even come to the door.
She's even dropped the price, $15,000.
How do I feel? Sad. Sad for the whole city, sad for the neighborhoods, sad that this is going on and it feels like no one's even making a difference or doing anything.
I know how much she wants out of here. I know how long she's been here. It's time for her to go, and she can't.
Her daughter Mandy has watched her report the camps to no avail.
I feel like Portland has a responsibility to clean up, to get their act together.
I can understand, I guess where they're coming from.
Dustin lives in the homeless camp across the street. He sees how it affects the neighborhood.
Well, it makes me feel bad for her.
Though Dustin faces common barriers, like no ID and an addiction to fentanyl.
It's not very fun. It's not very fun at all.
This campsite off Southeast Foster and 76th has been posted for removal. Those who live nearby say the city won't be able to address it until late July.
Well, what is she supposed to do? She's just supposed to sit it out until the end of July?
The city's latest data shows they've received nearly 3,000 new campsite reports in a week. They prioritize those that pose the highest health and safety risks, meaning this one was not at the top of their list. It's a system nearby businesses have no patience for. This auto shop was broken into on Sunday.
Took about 40 years worth of tools, which was over $200,000 worth of tools.
It's hard to say who did it, but they believe it's people living in nearby camps.
It used to be a city everybody wanted to come to, and now it's a city that everybody avoids.
I don't know that Portland will ever get back to what it once was.
Starting next week, several rules around banning homeless camping like this will go into effect. Although those who work and live in this area don't see how that'll change things. In Southeast Portland, Blair Best, KGW News.
Difficult situation all the way around. In other news, in another week, hard to believe, but we're going to be celebrating the 4th of July. Kind of crept up on us, didn't it?
Are you going to make potato salad, coleslaw, all that blueberry pie?
Oh, yeah, blueberry pie. We're going to have barbecues. A lot of people will be celebrating with fireworks, of course, but there's one city where you won't be allowed to use or buy fireworks in the Portland city limits.
Oh, yeah, it is the second year of an official ban. If you're hoping to set some off yourself elsewhere, maybe it is a family tradition, right? As Joe Ranieri explains, you might be out of luck.
Fireworks officially went on sale last week in Oregon, but for the third year in a row, one place you won't see stands is in Portland.
Years past, the city permitted the sale and use of recreational fireworks for individual families to go purchase.
That was then. This is now.
The whole reason Portland Fire and Rescue went towards moving into a banned situation was our preventions division just kept seeing fire after fire after fire.
Rick Graves with Portland Fire and Rescue says he wants people to enjoy the holiday at the same time staying safe.
So we've seen tremendous numbers of fires as a result of inappropriate and unsafe firework use to the point where we've had deaths.
That's what led to the ban in the spring of 2022, outlawing the sale and use of fireworks, and Graves takes it seriously. There was also an emergency ban in 2021, but that was from our excessive heat we had been enduring.
Our fire investigations unit is pretty aggressive, and they will go out, and if your fireworks have caused a fire or an injury, they will move towards prosecution to the fullest extent of the law.
2 other metro cities where you won't see the sale or use of fireworks is in Vancouver and Milwaukee this year. It's still legal in Washington County.
Be prepared with water or hose so you can extinguish it. Be safe. Be careful of kids and pets.
Captain Andrew Klein with Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue says even though you're still allowed to set fireworks off, there are strict rules.
They can't move horizontally 3 feet, can't leave the ground, and can't detonate.
With our dry weather and a chance to see a stretch of really hot weather next week, crews just want everyone to remember why we're celebrating.
Recognize what Independence Day is about and what we celebrate.
Joe Ranieri, KGW News.